Hello everybody, welcome back to Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today is Christmas, and Merry Christmas everybody. We're having our Trump coffee, and we've got a project that I think I'm getting ready to start, so if this continues, I guess I went ahead and decided to do it. But anyway, does everybody remember I had the T2 and the T1, and I ended up with an extra one of these. I don't know how that happened. And I was looking at this Challenger, and I wanted to change the stock on one of them. I've got the 357 and the 30 cal, and the only way you can tell them apart is because I've redone the stock on this and did all that lightning stuff. And this one is going to look too close to the Challenger that I'm getting, which is the 50 cal. And these two stocks are going to basically look alike. The only difference is they'll be just a hair bigger on the 50 cal. But I wanted to change this, so I thought, well, why not do this? This will actually fit the Challenger tube. So I decided to see if I couldn't get this to slide up on there about that far. 3D print a piece that will transition the two and cover the threads on the barrel, and I'll show you here when you get close. But thought about trying to maybe cut this stock to about right there, and then I'll show you. Let's put you down here, we'll show you. So basically what we would probably start off by doing would be to put this right to where I'm comfortable making a 3D printed cover to go over this that will look like the piece for the barrel train, but designed a little different. So slide this all the way up to the 3D printed piece that transitions all this. And this part here I could cut just a hair, maybe a 1/4 inch wider, or maybe even an inch wider or longer, and then cut it down to the size of the inside of this and let it just go up over top of the stock, and it'll slide up on there, and we can even put a screw in each side, but we don't know if we'll do that or not. So the first thing we want to do is take the gun apart. Alright, so now we have this bare. Make sure you're empty and the safety's on. Alright, so then we're going to take this to split side and go on here, and you see it goes right on there, no play. Slides right up on there, and it will slide. Maybe this end's a little smaller apparently. So let's see here what we got. Well, I would think that that would be the same size. But it's not. It needs to be filed. So we're going to do some filing on this. So it needs to be filed some more. Alright, but our goal is to get it back here. So we needed to slide the whole way down the tube. So we're going to continue to file some more. And we're using a big, thick, heavy cutting rasp because we want to holler out a good bit on this because there's a lot of surface area there. And as you can see on the inside of that, you can see still low spots where I haven't even filed to yet. This must have been molded. Alright, let's try it again. There we go, now we're getting somewhere. So now let's pick the back side of this and just set it here. And we're just going to push it down on there. Just like that. And it fits real nice and tight around that. And this was a T2. Alright, so then what we'll do is we'll push that forward enough Alright, so we'll push that forward and then I'll take my measurements as to what I want to make here to transition this and protect the threads on the where it screwed on the shroud that I don't use. So we'll just 3D print us a part that goes in here. And then on top of that, you have a screw. It's got a little screw here that's a Phillips head. And on the side of it, and I tested this earlier, that screw will actually go in there and work on this and still miss the barrel and the shroud, I mean the tank. So, and I'm using a straight head screwdriver to put a Phillips head screw in, and it's working because I taper my screwdriver for that very reason. Alright, now that should be tight. So next time we'll work on the 3D printed part. And basically what I'm going to do is rob the, I'm just going to modify the tailpiece for the Challenger train and just readjust to meet this instead of the train. So it's basically just going to stop right in here. Probably about a degree or two off so that it would transition up into this. So that doesn't look so bad. So we'll work on the 3D printed part next. But I think that this Challenger is going to look pretty decent. So now for the stock itself. Let's set that right there. Hopefully it stays. The stock itself, I really don't need the Picatinny rail. But not anymore once I get this on it. I may have to either make something to go on here for it. It's possible I could probably 3D print a tailpiece and make something that comes off the backside. I don't know. We'll see. Otherwise, we got lucky because if we have to cut the stock to meet up with this, then that would work out for us simply because the screw that holds the stock on is right here. And where we need to cut it would be right around here. So it would still tighten down just fine. All you're doing is just subtracting the forearm grip. It's still going to hold just fine. So if I have to do that route, what I'll do is just cut that off about 1/4 inch or maybe 1/8 of an inch overlapping this piece. Of course, remember, we can adjust this. We can adjust that back and forth however we want. Just loosen that screw and slide it back and forth. And I think this is going to make a nice looking rifle. But then, on the back side here, this part I would have to, I got to make it look more military. So it's either cut this straight off right. Well, we really can't add anything to this, but we could add something to here and make all this, cut all this off, but cut it where it's straight. I mean, it's just an idea. I don't know if this will work or not. Cut this off straight across because you want to keep this part. So we'd probably cut it right around in there, and it will make us an aluminum plate that's 1/4 inch thick that will be probably threaded and have holes in it so that you can match it up to this, and then you file that down till it matches this contour here all the way around it. So then you've got a mounting surface. So I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here as far as how to make this gun look pretty sweet. And I'm really tossing it around about getting rid of this hump right here, or this valley. I'd almost rather this be feathered out flat all the way. And I'm thinking about getting rid of that and making that flat. So, and square this off just a little bit more and let that square transition itself into this. So, of course, it's not going to go very far. It's going to stop right here anyway. So, we got some options. We can make us a new stock. Who knows, maybe I can 3D print a stock to go in here. And I've actually got an idea for one. And I bet it's going to be a pain in the butt to print too. So, but anyway, till the next one, this is my 30 cal Challenger, and as soon as I find my cap, put that on there, then I can put my barrel band back on it. And I always put mine to where it's just right on the other side of the trim, so that it kind of makes it look pretty decent. Maybe we'll come back just a hair more. Yeah, it makes me have to realign my gun, but oh well. So we'll tighten that back down until we're ready to, well, tighten it down. So there you have the forearm grip already made. So now we got to decide how we want to do a tailpiece, because we got to have some way to mount and hide all the mechanism here. So it's definitely going to have something that's going to it'd be so much easier to modify the stock. I'm going to put that upside down. So that's gonna look pretty badass, guys. Let's put this back on it and see what it does as far as changing the look. Yeah, that's all we're doing is going for cosmetics. So there you have it. The new military style forearm grip. And then we're going to 3D print something for it and modify that stock. But whatever we do, once you start, you're committed. So I have some ideas in my head. I have a pretty good idea of one with aluminum too. So we might make one out of aluminum. But anyway, don't you guys forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have a good one. Later.